Hello everyone, welcome to Piccadilly Stamping. I am just going to see if I can get you pulled up on my computer, so it'll just be a minute. Here we go. Boy. Let's see, is anyone coming in yet? Okay, I'm seeing, whoa, okay. Let's see, who do we got here? Bill joined. Hi, Jamie. Laura, Josh. Oh boy. Kristen. Hey. I don't know if, I think you're not back from your trip yet, so if you're there with Aunt Marion, say hello. Okay, looks like we're getting a few people in here. Hi, Jamie. While you guys are saying hello, I just want to start and welcome everybody. Today I've got a couple of projects that we're going to do, and we're going to be using the Stamparatus, but I wanted to show you this product. So I know it looks like, here's the better side. I should do this so it looks all nice and new, but this is our new stamp chamois, and it cleans your stamps really well. So I was hoping like Laura was on. Oh, I just turned my head and there's Laura. Hi, Laura. This is the new stamp chamois. Isn't this thing cool? It's like a cushy kind of sponge, but it cleans the stamps really well. Like, well, I'll show you as we go. But this is one of our clear mount stamp case that holds it perfectly, and it actually kind of keeps it moist, but it's not completely sealed, so air does get out in there and stuff, so it doesn't like mold on you. But you just rinse it out with water and squeeze it underwater in your faucet. And I just wanted to show you. So that is located on page 206, our stamp chamois. It's $8, and the cases are actually kind of right beside it, the standard cases, and you get 4 of them for $7. But awesome product, I really like it. And on the other page is my favorite purchase of the year. The best stamp tool ever is the Stamparatus, and we're going to be using that tonight, doing one of my favorite techniques. So let's get going, and let's actually start with the Stamparatus and that technique. Now let me see if my hands are in screen. Hi, Beverly. Hi, Joyce. Hi, the other Kristen Wenzel. I got to keep you guys straight. And I know that it's different spellings, but then Kristen Tatum gets on here and it just throws me all over the place, because each one of them are spelt differently. Okay, so the Stamparatus, and I've used this before. It's got these hinges, and you can do 2 different stamping at once, and we'll go through that another time. Today we're just going to do our walking technique. I love that this, you can stamp and reposition it. So I'm just going to move this here, and let's get out my box of goodies for tonight. So tonight we're going to be using a returning color called Poppy Parade. I loved this before, and I'm in love with it again. It is not quite a red, even though it looks very red probably on the camera. And we're going to use Crushed Curry, so we're using some bright, vibrant colors. We are going to be using a couple of stamp sets. This one is a Pop of Petals, and it's these cute little flowers. Tonight we're going to be using this image. I've got a few projects though with this lined up. This also has and let me reach over here, a matching punch, so we'll be using that tonight. And then we're going to use a big thank you. And we're going to be using this image here. What I like about it is you can get this and the die cut thank you for 10% off if you buy them in the bundle. And believe me, you want to buy them in the bundle because this is an awesome set. I've used it for more than just this, but tonight we're just going to pull this image out. Okay, now I'm going to set that aside. We're going to be using a piece. So see, I already have the thank you cut out, and I just cut it out in the basic black. And you just run it through the Big Shots and I use the magnetic plate in between two of the acrylic plates and run it through, and it cuts out just perfectly. So I'm going to set that there. I hope I don't forget where I set it. And then we're going to use half a sheet of Whisper White that is 8.5 by 11, and we're going to cut it in half. And again, I just like to get the ends lined up, press it down, put my fingers in the middle, push all the way to the middle, and then out. That's how I do it. Some people score it. So I'm going to fold that in half to make my card base. We're going to use a piece of vellum and a scratch piece of paper. So let me get this going here. Okay. So the Stamparatus is kind of a fun tool. I've hooked my mag together with duct tape because it's got that fiber in it, so it's easy to pull off. You don't want these suckers to get stuck together. Trust me, I already have, and I was so glad that I had the just as I say that, the duct tape on it, because these are like some of the most powerful magnets. So don't get them hooked together because they're hard to get apart. Because I'm going to be using, here it is, a photopolymer stamp. They have like a foam cushion here, and you can use this several different ways. I try not to use a Stamparatus up in the corner area where the hinge is, because there's just a little bit of a dip, and so you get better stamping if you stamp towards the outside. So I usually try to keep my Stamparatus, you know, normally I have it lined up where I can put my paper here on the little graph, but when you're using the photopolymer, you need that little bit of cush. So I like to line mine up where the Stampin' Up image is right there, and I'll tell you why. Because when I'm placing my cardstock, since I'm not going up to the top and stamping up there, because I don't think it stamps quite as good of an image, I just line it up down here and eyeball it the best I can. But there's a little, and I don't know if you guys can see that, so maybe I better come up here. See the Stampin' Up? Let's see if I can get the light to hit it just so. You see that? So I follow the straight line right there. So now let me put that back and put that in place. That straight line helps me know that my paper's lined up straight. And then I place one magnet and I keep them as far apart as I can. So now this is where you come into eyeballing this, where you want this to land. I don't want this all the way to the top. So place your image, make sure it's clean before you put it down on your white paper where you think it is. And I'm going to have to stand up to see if this is even lined up straight. I think it is from this angle. It is hard to do when your hands are way in front of you. So press it down so that it catches and lines up. Now I'm going to use this as a guideline here, because when I walk it down, okay, none of them are going to hit. And I think it's, you know, now that I look at that, it's not even. It's not, I want an even width from here to here too. So let's retry that. Okay, because I want this one to be stamped. And let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, that looks better. That's got 2. Yeah, that looks better. Okay, so I don't know if the camera shows when this is resting. It's resting on my bottom of my lamp, but normally if you just have like even a stamp set or something underneath of it, it kind of holds it up. You don't have to, you can let it go, but because of the angle it goes all the way down, so I like it resting up. Just a tip. Alright, I'm going to start with the Poppy Parade because I want that to be the most dominant color because it's probably one of my faves. And we're going to just go ahead and ink up the image. Couple of things. One of the reasons I love the Stampin' Chamois is because if you were to get some or you needed to clean it off, this is what I'll be using. So better than that scrubber, there's no way you could really get that cleaned off with the scrubber. Okay, also the Stamparatus is absolutely wonderful because if I don't get this inked up right, which this is a really new pad, so I can't imagine that I wouldn't, but I can just come back and re-ink it. Okay, but I'm pretty happy with that. So I'm going to walk that down. And I don't remember what this technique was called, but walking. We'll just say walking. Sounds good, right? And I'm going to go to the next one. Now I can see that I actually got a little snarf on there and right there. Stampin' Chamois to the rescue. You don't have to necessarily clean it off, but since I'm doing this on paper that I've got 2 pieces of paper, I just wanted to be careful, and I didn't ink that up so good. I'm going to walk down, so you just step it down. Okay. And it's just set up in the same position, step down, and I love that. I want to hold your ink pad as flat as possible so you don't get snarf on your product. It is visual. Okay, I like that. So I'm going to stop while I'm good. This is a potent color. And I'm going to take chamois, and I'm going to clean the stamp up. And the plate. Good, good. Yay. I'm giving that just a minute to dry because the next step is to start my acrylic plate back up, and I want to angle this, or set this, I mean, not angle it. I suppose I could angle it. This is my crushed curry stamp pad, and I'm going to have to stand again. I cannot tell if it is in the center or not. It looks like it. Well, we're going to go with that. Is my friend Joy on here? Because if Joy's on here, it's her fault if it goes haywire. I don't see Joy, but I can see my friend Shelly. Hi, Shelly. Okay, let's see. I hope that's where I want it. If not, we're going to go with it and just blame it all on Joy. It's good to blame her when she's not around. Then I don't get any of the sass. Did Joy make it on here? Oh, she did. Ooh, I'm in trouble. Okay, I'm going to step it down again. This is actually kind of a sample that was in the catalog. Done a little different than what I'm going to do tonight. Of course, I always have to add my own spin, but this is pretty much what they did. I'm going to step it down. Okay. And they all look inked up good before I quit. So I want to clean this off. And I don't know, I think it's called the walking technique, or I don't know what it's called. Walking. We'll go with walking. Okay, so we'll put that away. Now let's pull this off. Hey, not too bad with the camera in my face. So you can see that it just did that whole area with a background. Hi, Brina. Can you guys see this? Can I get some hearts and loves and stuff so I know if you're seeing it? Okay, good deal. All right, so since I'm done with that, I'm going to go ahead and... With these photopolymer ones, if I don't place them right away, I tend to lose them, so I don't know if that happens to other folks, but it does to me. Tonight we're going to be doing some thank you cards. I always need thank you cards, and I thought that's what I'm going to do with it. So I'm going to put this stamper up. It does come with the 2 plates, but remember you can't store them in there. You have to store them like so. That way it doesn't bust. So I need a scrap piece of paper. So I have one that I snarfed before on another project I was doing. And tonight I love this image. So actually I'm going to do this first, I think. So I have a piece of cardstock. Now this is the regular card width, and I have a piece of vellum cardstock, which I think is really pretty. Look at that. So it took how bright that was, and it just kind of toned it down a bit. Now this is cut at 1/4 of an inch shorter, so it's 4 by 5 1/4. Okay, and I'm going to show you how to glue that on, but first I need to show you how to glue this on. Where is my... Here it is. This is that silicone mat that Stampin' Up! Makes. I love this. So here's my tip. You guys have seen me do this before. I take down some of the green Tombow multi-purpose glue, and I want to show you this. I have just a PVC pipe that I keep a part of a sponge on, and so I know that it's my glue sponge, because look at that, it kind of gets icky, but that kind of holds it up and airs it out and keeps it away from my other sponges, and I don't get too many hairs in it. So I'm going to take that and I'm going to put a couple of drops down, and I'm going to take my thank you image, and I want to put this on my project the way I want it to be, but it's not glued down, and I'll explain why after we glue this up. So then I just dip this into that, and I just start I remember there's a lot of tricks and tips. This stuff can get all over the place. Like if you just glue it, it can get to be too much. And I remember when my upline like showed us this trick, I thought she was God. This is like the perfect stuff. You can see how sticky this is. And so you can hit all the areas without having snarfo all over your project. So I'm going to come over here and I'm going to put it about where I think it needs to go with that vellum in play. and I'll tell you why I did it this way and show you how I hook that vellum on. If you put adhesive on vellum and stick it down, it'll show through. So then I just put my, and then this will dry and rub right off, and I love that. If you put adhesive down on vellum, it'll show through. So that's why I lined up where I wanted my thank you to go first, because you can see how you can see that showing through there, only it would show through on the front side. I don't care if it shows behind there, but I don't want it showing on the front side. So I'm going to use my paper piercer tool and some glue dots, and I'm going to actually roll my glue dots up and place it behind the word to glue it down in some of the bigger spots. And I've tried but you definitely want to get it across the word so it holds it down. And these things are sticky, so it's going to hold, but definitely fold them so they fit behind your lettering. And it takes a few. And I promise you I'll stop and look for questions here soon. So, now I got my sticky on there. I gotta stand again because it's hard to see if I got it in the middle. And when you get these stuck, they're stuck. So I think I've got that in the right spot. Ta-da! So, as you can see, it's not stuck down, but it's enough that it'll hold it. You see what I'm saying? Okay, look and see. Throw me a homeware. So I can. And hello, anyone there? Okay, there, I see someone. Okay, and now let's finish this card. There's two sides to every paper. That's so awesome. I'm going to pull out the pocket, and not my favorite, which would be good. And then I'm going to get that punch. So here's my next little tip. When you stamp this image, there's a specific way to punch it out. So you're going to work on your stamp, and I think this is the correct way, actually, I have it, so that you have your stamp the correct way, looking from the bottom. Wait, maybe I don't. Okay, that's it. So that when I turn this over and stamp it, I know which side is the bottom. So I'm just going to ink it up in the Poppy Parade. It's so pretty. And then stamp it down. I grabbed the wrong image, didn't I? Not that this is a bad one, but this isn't the one that I wanted to use, so hold on a moment. I want the one that I want. I think the only reason why is because I think it's sharp for this card, so here it is. Now I gotta go through the whole process again. Which one is it? This one? Nope. This one. This one. Here we go. Okay. That's why cards have two sides, right? So we're going to do it again. Now my card has three sides. Oh, see, that just pops. I just think it pops. Okay. And if I did it right, it should line up perfectly. Right here. So that I can punch that out. Okay. Let's bring my project back in. I just want to curl that rib or the petals up. I've seen people layer these too, which is really pretty, and some of my other projects that I'll be showing you. But I just wanted to stick with this, and I'm going to use a glue dot to glue it on, and we'll just have it be there, right there. And then I want to take one of my rhinestones and stick that right in the middle. Okay, let me stand up again. What do you think? You like it? Hi, Gwen. Gwen's watching from Hawaii, everybody. Ah, listen to that aloha. Rubbing it in our face, are ya? Okay, so let's go on to the next project. Let me take a look here really quick and just see if there were any questions. And you know what? My computer is so far behind. I'm just going to have to do questions at the end and look at them tonight. So let's go on to the next project. Okay, this project. I do want to point out that this set that I got, and I got the complete set, not only the stamp set, but the dies, and they are amazing. I got these for free. That's right, you heard me, for free. When you're a demonstrator and you, there's perks to being a demonstrator, and one of them was this time is the amount of my sales were right in line that I was able to get some free stuff from Stampin' Up, so that would be cool. So anyway, I love free, I love free, I love free. Who doesn't love free? So today we're going to be using, our colors are going to be Highland Heather and Blackberry Bliss with Granny Apple Green. Isn't that pretty? Okay, so I did some textured embossing, and I'm going to hold this up here for a second so that you guys can see that. Oh, my computer's running way slow, so I have no idea. I'm just going to keep going, but there's some texture on here. That is from this textured impression plate called Climbing Vine. This is 6x6, which I really like. So you can place it in however you want. This one I just didn't like. So to give a textured background on my card base. So Climbing Vine, it's a new one. And let's pull out, we'll be using gold thread. So the images that I'm going to use in combined imaging. So I'm going to be using the outline of this flower, and then I use this as the inline of the flower. But I did it with a couple colors, so let me just show you how I did that. And since it's the photopolymer stamp set, and meaning clear, I'm going to use my Stampin' Pierce mat underneath to give a little bit of cushion. So let's get going. Now, when I did this a couple different ways, but I started with the Blackberry Bliss as the outline because I found it easier to line up my image for the inside image easier. I tried it both ways, but that's what worked for me. And this will stain your photopolymer, but I actually kind of like it because then I can see the lines really well when I'm stamping. Okay, you're going to need 2 for this project. So we're going to stamp it twice. Yay. And then, and this is a potent, very, very potent color, so I'm going to shut it. Then I'm going to use the Highland Heather. And we have 2 new grapes. This is the lighter of the 2. I'm in love with both of them, and I'm not really a purple person, but I really do like this one. So I'm going to ink that up really good. I love the little line detail in that. And I'm going to try not to stick my head in front of the camera, but it's easier for me to see going in to this. Oh, look at that. I love the rich detail that brings to this flower. It's like it just, I don't know, to me it just like opens up and becomes alive. There are so many sets that when I saw in this catalog this year, I knew I had to have. Okay, so that's how I did the flowers. And for, here we go. To cut them out, I didn't have to cut them at all. I just laid them in on the Big Shot and cut them, went like this through the Big Shot and ran it through and cut them, but for time's sake, I went ahead and have a couple made already for us. Okay. So then I cut a 3x3 piece of cardstock in Whisper White, and I also, that was on Whisper White too that I used. And I'm going to use the image. Oh, hold on, I gotta run across the room. I thought I was prepared and apparently I wasn't, but it won't be long. I don't know why I'm talking monotone. I needed another stamp set. So this is a brand new stamp set, and I love it because I love the font on it. The size of it is, you know, a little larger than some of our other ones. And I want the thank you. This says, thanks for all you do. So I'm going to mount that on a block as straight as I possibly can. Is that straight? Sometimes when they have curvy writing, I have to look at it a couple times, but we're going to eyeball this. Okay, that looks good. And on my 3x3 piece, I'm going to ink this up in black. Okay, nice and inky. And I want it kind of in the bottom, the lower right-hand side. And I'm going to have to stand again. It's hard to see because the camera. I hope that's right. Let that ink transfer. Thanks for all you do. How pretty is that? Okay, now we'll bring back in the card base. So on the card, well, on the thanks, I want to arrange these, and I'm going to just do a little bit of glue, not much, because I'm going to arrange this flat on my thanks so that you can see that. And then I'm going to use some dimensionals. Why, that's a brand new paper. And I'm going to put a couple on the back here so we can give a little dimension to this flower from that one. How do I want it? I think I'll do like that. Isn't that cute? Oh my gosh, it's so cute. And then I will use a little bit of snail here on the back. I don't use snail very often. But I'm going to stick some down because this is how I do my, this is that gold thread. So I'm going to pull a bunch of this stuff off. And I usually wrap it, oh boy, I'm really getting inky, around 3 and 4. So I might do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so that they're kind of varied sizes. And then before I cut it off, I usually like to stick it right onto my snail adhesive. And then I can trim it and pull my loose ends and how I want it to be at the top, how I want it to look at the top, kind of arrange it on that stickiness. Yay. Okay, more dimensionals, because we're going to pop this all up on our card base. This one fingernail will not grow back because it's my right finger, and I've been doing all kinds of stuff with gardening and stuff, and it won't grow back. Okay, so then let's just center this where we want it to be. And do I want it down more or up more? Maybe like that. Okay. All right, now I'll stand again so you can see some of that detail. I don't know if you can see the gold. Can you see it? That little bit of thread back there. Wonder if this light's better. Is that light better? Yay! You like that? Isn't it pretty? Okay, so let's bring back our other card. Well, here's the thank you cards. Someone throw me some thumbs up or hearts or something so I know you guys can see them. All right, there we go. Thank you. Okay, so those are tonight's cards. Now, before we go into drawing, a couple of things. How do you get into my drawing? You get into my drawing by sharing my videos. So if you share my video to your wall right now, and then right back on my Piccadilly wall that you shared it, I put your name into a drawing. So, and every week there's a different giveaway. If you are wanting to make any of these projects, have any questions about them, just let me know. You can leave a message too. I do read them after the show, so go ahead and leave questions for me here. I also have message me if you want it to be private. But if you would like to purchase any of these items and you have an order that is $150 or less, please use this hostess code. That helps me out quite a bit. It's C9KJWBAD, and I'm here every Wednesday night at 7 p.m. I will tell you guys this. I have been so excited to stamp with you with this new catalog release that I can hardly contain myself. In fact, I'm going to just show you here. You can ask my mom. I have like projects scheduled and things that I want to do and show you, and so ahead of time I do as many as I can. It's not always just sitting in front of the computer nicely stamping with you guys. There's a lot of thought that goes into it, but there's so many good things that I cannot wait to share with you guys each and every week that I get kind of excited, and it's hard to pick what I'm going to do. So please, if you know someone who's into stamping and would like free tutorials, send them to me. You can purchase my products at right here on Facebook. I have a link that says Shop Now. It's the blue one at the top. And you can always find what's current on my blog spot. So piccolistampin.blogspot.com. Okay, tell your friends. If there's anybody who's interested in getting their products for a discount, ask me how. Let's get going to the drawing. I was trying to get this thread. It was unraveling. Hooked up. Okay, we actually had a lot of shares last week, and I'm pretty excited about that. That's how word of mouth really works for me, and I appreciate that, you guys. So I'm going to go ahead and mix them up. There's like 22 or something in here, which is awesome. So, okay. Here we go. Joyce, and you know what? I don't want to kill your last name, but Pugula? I don't know. I want to kill it. So Joyce P., you are the winner tonight. I am so excited. Oh, let me tell you what you won. You won a brand new, one of Stampin' Up's brand new mint macaron Stampin' pads. And I will mail that out to you. All you need to do is message me your address. You don't have to leave it here, but message me your address, and then I will get that out into the mail for you. So I appreciate everyone stopping by and seeing me. And oh, thank you. I see some things, some people that shared. So, and I will see you next week right here. Have a good evening. Take care. Bye-bye.